It all began right here 12 years ago. This is a picture of me with my not husband then, but husband now. And if you look at my arms, I weighed 96 pounds. I now weigh 135. So my personal story was one that I was very ill of health. And for many, many years, I had year-round bronchitis, severe allergies, which I still have, and a lot of awful medical problems. And so when I went to the doctor, I kept asking the same question over and over. Can you please fix me and give me a pill? And what I found is that in dealing with social media, lots and lots of people are saying the same thing. I want to become instantly famous. But the reality is there's no instant, that it is hard work. I could not be fixed with a pill. I was taking 18 prescriptions a day and was still really, really ill. Had to see doctors every week. And at one point, they didn't think I was going to live through it. So I had to make a huge change. And I didn't know if one person could really make a difference. I didn't know if I could make a difference for myself. And I certainly didn't for anyone else. Now, how I made a difference for myself and family is I really greened my life. But the reality was I got rid of chemicals. I started talking more about sustainability and practicing that sustainability myself. And the number one thing that changed my life is I got out in nature. So my story really began with nature. This is a picture of my very first garden that I built. We went to a home, and you're all saying, what's it got to do with social media? But it does, because I started out with a garden, and I built this little garden, and I did one of these, because it's really hard to build a garden, but it's really, at the end you're like, yes, I really did it. And then I became addicted. I became so addicted. I worked sales and marketing, and I worked probably 60 to 70 hours a week at that time. And on the side, in my spare time, after I did the family and all that, I was a newspaper columnist. I started writing about gardening. And I did that because of the way it made me feel. It was like an amazing change in my life. And my health started improving, and I gradually started using less prescriptions. And then I really got addicted because one garden just wasn't enough. By the time I finished doing all this gardening, I had quit my job, downsized, changed everything in my life, went down to 2 prescriptions a day instead of the 18. And now I was asking the question, what am I going to do next? So the life-changing miracle happened right here. This is a photo of my back fence. And what I did was I went out and created this cruddy little garden right here. And when I walked out the back door, what people did was they hugged me. All my neighbors who I'd never met, I only met the ones in front of my house, not behind my house. And after I got out there and gardened, and we're talking this cruddy little garden, this is how it looked for a while, they would stop and hug me, and they would stop and tell me their stories. And I would get to know them personally and understand that, Aunt Margaret's got cancer, and my dog only has 3 legs, and, all these stories, they all came by, and pretty soon they were targeting me. They were walking in my community just to stop and spend time and speak with me. Now, what's that sound like to you? That's social media. You want people to come to you, whether you're a business or a personal blog, and you want them to come and spend time with you. And so if you keep your tweets and your Facebooks and your everything very, very corporate, and you don't talk about yourself ever, then you're not going to build these type of relationships.
Hello. Hi. My name's Wendy, and I'm loquacious too, and I'm new to the social media, but I got a job in that field with a new company. I'll bore you guys with that later. But my question is the boundary of branding an idea, company, and myself, where I get confused on how personal I should get. I get a lot of connection, bonding with my community as well when I get real personal, but at the same time, then I'm like, when the numbers start growing, I start to get uncomfortable. So
do you think that strangers are looking at your personal stuff? Okay,
well, and where is that?
What you mean by personal? I mean, if you're talking about sex and things that would be very personal, then that generally turns off the Twitter crew, because people are there for a reason, to get to know other people. And if you're talking a lot about something that's, extremely intimate, it's going to flop on you anyway. So the thing, I think it's fine to get personal and to keep going with it, because I talk about the things that personally affect me. I also consistently send people back for green content. So, I've had a trauma. Harry the Pug, if any of you know Harry the Pug, he's like my mascot and gets all kinds of strange emails. And, if Harry the Pug's had a bad day and I post that, that's a personal note. What it's done is it's humanized me. In between all that content is also a human being, and that human being is trying to get to know others, right? And so the people that have been, I want to say, this sounds inappropriate, but that are the biggest, the CEOs, the people that work at NBC News that might be able to help me, they came to me not just because of the content. They came to me because they like Harry the Pug. And it's true. And when you say that, well, I can't do that with my corporation. Well, if you have individuals that are talking about, they have their own Twitter branch, yes, you can. There's no reason why you can't. But then it causes more complex issues in the future. But I truly believe that being personal is the only way to connect with another real human being. All right. Well, that's perfect timing, because I'm at the end of my time. Thank you all for having me. Appreciate it.